you all a very happy International Day of Yoga. My name is Dr. Yogyata Vadva. I am by background a physio, but with the knowledge towards and so much wisdom around yoga, it led me to certify the yoga expert as well. And today we are going to talk about the importance of yoga. I am a regular with teaching prenatal yoga at C.K. Birla Hospital. But today brings us to the general information around the importance around yoga, because yoga is not just an exercise. Most of the times we are seeing it as that yoga is just an exercise. However, when we go around our cultural practices, when we look back into our yoga cultures of our country, yoga comes from union, which means it is a union of mind, body and soul. It is not just about any other exercise like the way we do at the clinic or at a gym or something, or Pilates. They are specific exercises. But when it comes to yoga, yoga is the only form of exercise which involves the brain, your hormones, along with your physical body. And yoga is the only exercise which can be physically intense in nature. It can be various forms like a hot yoga or a power yoga, which is more physically intense. Or it can be restorative in nature for people who are recovering from any illness, or be recovering from a surgery or from cancer. Then there can be restorative forms of yoga which will help them repair and recover their body faster. There are a lot of pranayams in yoga which kind of brings our work capacity back. So people who are not able to do much physical exercise, doing restorative yoga, pranayamas can still be very beneficial without exerting much. And yoga is the only exercise which also, if we do yoga nidras, can help us battle insomnias, can help us sleep better. So yoga is not just an exercise. It is more of a physical plus emotional plus mental aspect that is also involved in yoga. Also, this is the only exercise that every age group can do, starting from a toddler, wherein we have now very fancy yoga classes in many metro cities, but otherwise basic toddler yogas. It can be done by definitely the young age group for the flexibility, for relieving the stress. So the corporate people who are so much all the time tied to their seats, doing a basic 10, 12 minute or 15 minute stretching yoga routine can help their backaches, can help their neck pains, right? Coming to if you become pregnant or if you are a parent, in that case, in pregnancy, this is the only form of exercise apart from walking which is very, very safe. And even if you haven't done any exercise in any part of your life, still you can do yoga in pregnancy. It helps us achieve so many benefits of normal birth, increasing our pace of recovery, and so much benefits to the baby in the womb as well. Then after you deliver a child, then also yoga brings you a lot of restoration, repair and recovery back to your place, back to your womb, back to your bodies. In geriatric ages, like when you are aging, again we think that as we age, our exercises should go down. Actually, it is the opposite. When we are aging beyond 40 years of age, every year the muscle and bone strength goes down by 2%. And that is why we should exercise even more. And yoga comes very easily to people who haven't exercised even in their young ages. In that case, in cases of aged people or geriatric ages or people who want to do slow form of exercises, yoga is one which is very, very beneficial. Apart from that, if you have any kind of hormonal issues, because we see the role of exercise in hormonal issues, but yoga is one sort of exercise or one sort of physical routine wherein there are specific asanas for diabetes, for insulin management, for glucagons, for calcium absorptions, for pregnancy, for increasing your pregnancy hormones, releasing your postpartum hormones, for thyroids, for stress, for you name the disease, and we have specific kind of yoga asanas for that. This much of variation cannot be there in any form of exercise, and that's what makes yoga special. That is why the whole world goes gaga around yoga, and we as Indians are proud that it comes from our culture, from our country. Cutting it because there are so many benefits. So we now come to what can be the kind of yoga asanas that we can practice initially, because when the people who are working out or doing yoga in the mornings, we usually aim at yoga asanas which are activating. So Surya Namaskars in the morning are a very good way to start your day. And as the name suggests, we are doing sun salutations when the sun is rising. How wonderful to start your day like that. Even if you're able to do 5 to 7 Surya Namaskars every day, nothing like it. If you're someone who has an afternoon slump, then doing a small 10 to 12 minute routine in the late afternoon or early evening time between 3 to 5 p.m. it helps. Although many people will tell you that this is not the time to exercise, but if you're someone who feels exhausted by this time of the day, then yoga is your way to go through it. If you're someone who has hormonal issues, fertility issues, then either early morning or evening doing your pranayams, doing your butterfly pose, doing your cat and cow pose, they are wonderful yoga asanas to help with in pregnancy and in fertility issues. Then when we come to later part of the times, when if you are someone who's having sleep issues, stress issues, insomnia, then Yoga Nidra and some restorative yoga asanas like Shavasana, Sukhasanas, they can be very helpful in battling insomnia and going through a much needed better sleep. So there are so many benefits that this video cannot suffice, and hence I urge all of you who have never started yoga, just give it a try and you will benefit so much out of it. Happy doing yoga.